We put things off because we find them scary. That is why you procrastinate. Look at the work on our desk that we need to do, but we feel like, what if I don't even finish it? What if it's not even good? What if I do it and I fail? All these scenarios play in our head, and that paralyzes us. And when you're paralyzed, you don't do anything. There's this big assignment worth 30% of your grade, and so you think, this is a bit scary, but I still have like 1 month till the deadline, so I'll just put it off. But here's where you get trapped, because when you put it off, now you have less time to do it, right? Does it become more scary or less scary? Well, you have less time to do it, so it becomes even more scary. And what do you do when it's more scary? You put it off even more, and then it becomes even more scary, put it off even more, and then this cycle of procrastination repeats itself. That is how you fall into this cycle, and then you're there like 1 a.m. the night before the deadline, asking your friend like, bro, did you do it? I need the answers on this thing. And he's like, no, I didn't do it, I thought you did it. And then you both realize that you're equally fucked. So now we know why you procrastinate. Here's how to stop. The thing that completely stopped my procrastination is this thing called Parkinson's Law. And Parkinson's Law basically states that work will expand to fill the time allocated to it. Meaning if the time allocated towards this thing is 1 month, you will work slower and then finish it in 1 month. If suddenly you haven't done anything and it's the night before, you only have 12 hours till the deadline, somehow your work rate will speed up and you'll still finish the thing in 12 hours. I always experience this, and you probably have, where you work very, very close to the deadline because you've just been putting it off. But then I realized, so I could have finished it in 12 hours, but I chose the last 12 hours before the deadline to do it. Why not just do it in another 12-hour block, but not before the deadline, because that's when I'm stressed and anxious? So instead, this is what I do. I use this thing that I'm pretty sure I came up with called the sit down time. The sit down time of something is basically, if I sat down and just gave 100% focus to this one task, I did not stop until it's done, no breaks, how long would it actually take? So for example, a math practice paper that is due in 1 week, I would finish it in 1 week. But what is the actual sit down time? If I just sat down and just did this paper, I could finish it in 2 to 3 hours. But because school gives me 1 week, I will drag it along for 1 week. So instead of that, why not set my own deadline and say, okay, this will only take 2 or 3 hours, so I'm only going to allocate 2 or 3 hours to finish it. This is Parkinson's Law. I allocate less time to do this thing, and so I speed up my work rate to finish the thing within the given time. Then obviously with something bigger, like for example, an architectural model project, right? Imagine you're an architecture student and you have to build this like model building. How long would it take you? Let's say 12 to 24 hours. Obviously you can't just sit there and work for 24 hours because you still need to like eat shit and sleep and everything. So what do we do? So since that's unrealistic, we're just gonna split it up between a couple days. So 24 hours. Let's say we work 5 hours a day for 5 days. That's 25 hours. So you can technically finish it in 5 days. But how much time does the school give you? Probably more like 1 month. So you could have finished it in 5 days, but you're gonna drag it out over a month because of Parkinson's Law. Another thing that you can do for these big assignments and projects is to be like every single pop artist before the course starts, which is to say, break it down. Break down this big item into smaller items. So for example, the architectural project, right? Instead of doing it as one big thing, which you could, why don't you just break it into smaller parts? So for example, day 1, for the first 5-hour block, you will just do the frame. The second day, you do the floor. The third day, you'll do the roof. The fourth day, you'll make the furniture and all the details. And the fifth day, you'll put it all together. When you break something scary into its smaller parts, you realize that it's actually pretty manageable and easy to do if you just get started. And that's what motivates you to get started, because you know you can actually do it. So this is how I manage my workflow. Whenever I get a new assignment, I write it in a list. So I have a big list of all my assignments. And then next to each assignment, I write the sit down time. So for example, math exam paper, next to it 2 hours. Writing assignment 1, next to it 3 hours. And so now whenever I look at that list, instead of it being like a bunch of very scary looking projects, it looks very manageable, because I'm like, okay, next to it 1 hour, I can just finish it within the next hour. That's how you kill procrastination. I don't look at it as a scary thing that determines my grade and my future and everything. I just look at it as it is, a 2-hour piece of work. That's it. And even with like 3 or 4 assignments, when I add up all the sit down time, it's usually less than 8 to 12 hours. So really, instead of doing one project, usually I batch them together. So I do like 3 projects in one day to get as much done as possible. So like over a weekend, maybe on Saturday I'll do 2 here, then Sunday I'll do another one, then the next weekend I'll do 1 here, 2 there. So then I kind of manage my time like that, and then over a week or 2 I'm done. And when's the deadline? The deadline's still a month in the future. And then because of that, now I have time to do all these things. I record YouTube videos, get more sleep, play basketball, do the things that I basically want to do, and still get the good grades. And then if I feel like it, every once in a while I'll dedicate like 1 or 2 hours to like look at the work and edit and make changes whenever I want. But really it's largely done already. So even if I don't want to make changes, I don't have to. But obviously I can edit whenever I want to. Don't leave your work till the last couple hours. Leave your work to the next couple hours. So in the next couple hours, look at the work that you have to do, because I know you're procrastinating whilst watching this video. Yeah, I see you. Jonathan from Arkansas. Where the fuck is Arkansas? Calling out a random guy, Jonathan from Arkansas. It's like, what? So right now, the work that you're avoiding, what is the actual sit down time? If you just sat down and focused, how long would it actually take? Probably not that long. And the thing is, as you do this more and as your focus gets better, the sit down time actually decreases. The more you do the work that you don't feel like doing, the better you get at doing the work that you don't feel like doing. You level up your discipline. And no matter whether you're a beginner or you're a master at doing work, the most progress always comes from the work that you are currently putting off the most. So I know everyone says this when it comes to procrastination, but just start. That is how you kill procrastination, because we procrastinate because we're scared, right? The task is too big. We're afraid that if we do it, we won't finish it, and even if we finish it, we'll produce like a poor quality piece of work. So the cure is simple. If it's so scary that we procrastinate, make it less scary. That's how we kill fear and find the motivation to just start. And once you do, you realize that it wasn't so bad. It was all just really in your head. Take action. Damn, I was in a flow state for this video, bro. Like, the past couple videos over the yesterday, I wasn't really in a flow state for, but today it was good. Right, I should really capitalize on this and make a couple more videos right now. You know, even for recording videos, the sun, like I like to have the sun here because it's like a nice vibe. That actually invokes Parkinson's law, because the sun comes up at like this ray of sun starts at around 8, ends at around 9:30. So that's my block to like record videos, because if I don't, then I miss out on the sun. So that's like unintentional Parkinson's law, because I want the vibe. The vibe is good. Okay, give me a kiss. Mwah.